Big Boss Jock Radio Show, episode 354. Another day out here, continuing with the protest here on the doorstep of the Reading Police Department. The officials allowed to sexually assault, along with torture, sexually violate, better stated. Again and again, it's a repeated theme. Allowed to hold a slave, no pay, no medical benefits, ongoing court case. They're allowed to ignore the law. At the same while, enforce other laws, whatever conveniences the department, subjected to no type of oversight. Allowed to invoke U.S. national security at their own discretion, the intelligence operators. U.S. DIA, one after another, placed here at the Reading Police Department. On goes the protest. Been now over 2.5 years. Hand billboard, held in my hand at this moment, reads "Cops torture inserted straight pins through my testicles, into my eyeballs, under my fingernails. If they care to know more, on the side is written Gab, and downwards is Big Boss Jock. They're welcome to go to the Gab website and look up Big Boss Jock. There's many pages posted in regards to the theme. I'd appreciate some assistance from the listeners. I have another court date coming up. So far, no assistance. Persistence by the Reading Police Department. They're allowed to put the protester in court. Ignore the fact that I'm a U.S. federal agent. Recognized as so for month after month here out on the doorstep of the Reading Police Department. Knife carried on my hip in a sheath for month after month after month. Included taken off my person by the Reading Police Department, handed back to their possession claims, and worn for another 3 months before the early morning arrest, 4:45 in the morning time, on a bicycle ride. Surprise, surprise, a knife they knew nothing about. Have the documentation, they gave me back the knife, not allowed to be discussed in court. Nor the issue that I'm a U.S. federal agent. I'm stating so. There's an exact social security number, exact birth name, birthplace, birth date, everything matches. They're not saying it's not my description, my image. They're not saying it's not my fingerprints. They just won't, and that Shasta County Superior Court, acknowledge my birth name that receives full benefits. Daily, I'm vigiled by a multitude of intelligence operators who watch my health condition deteriorate. 4 aneurysms, an agitator wire placed in the heart. The other end of the agitator wire in the command center in the Shasta Dam facility, an operator gets to put me into an irregular heartbeat whenever they choose. Not allowed to have a jammer. Stim receiver placed on active all my life. Never given a day's break nor a day's pay. Now, cut off all medication. Not allowed any. I didn't go to the doctor, couldn't. No medical benefits. Denied. 2.5 years I've been out here. The reason I began the protest was due to health issues. If they care to listen, there's 353 other episodes, all recorded during the protest. Oh, I feel this is a bit cruel. There's a group that's fully evil. They're allowed to act however they deem necessary without any type of oversight. Their actions speak for themselves. Day after day, out here pleading, needs some medical benefits. That lead slug in the backbone's getting, well, a bit difficult to deal with. Life's a bit cumbersome. They're waiting until I die. Denied, 49 years old. That bullet, that lead slug's been there for over 18 years. Please, oh please, can I have the benefits? Please, oh please. If it weren't for Shasta County Superior Court, the trip to the emergency room, I could have just stated I'm Earl Hawkins. Willing to sign as Earl, don't have any other ID. Other than Shasta County Superior Court finds that a felony due to Reading Police Department, them ignoring the fact that I have a birth name that they follow daily. Vigil, 75 megahertz, emits from out of the back of my head. This democeiver implant at the cerebral cortex. They monitor my every move, listen to my every word at AM, 750 kilohertz. The listeners are welcome to listen to the live broadcast. It's 24/7. All they need is a transistor radio with germanium diodes. For their knowledge, everyone in the program born 51 was a split year. Some do and some don't. After that, every year, we're implanted with stemocevers. There's a multitude of coppers here at the Reading Police Department. They're stemocevers. For the public's knowledge, send a sign and the eyes light up red. Sign, wave. Send a sawtooth. The victim snoozes. The subject. That's anyone implant with a stemoceiver. Functions the same. 12 ohms. Sine wave, the eyes light up red. 12 ohms. Sawtooth wave, sent to 900 megahertz. FM on the band. FM 900.0000 megahertz. Send them a sawtooth, and they snooze. So do I. Feels as if much weight is on the body and the eyes won't stay open. There's an electrode pushed up into the frontal lobe, connected to the unit at the cerebral cortex. The 75 hertz wave transmitted to 900 megahertz. That is a carrier wave carrying 12 ohms. A sine wave. Well, I get a go. A Yankee Sam, make sure I can't get a radio. Just can't get that. Been trying to obtain a radio now for years. Live at indigent level. The birth name here at the Reading Police Department, the birth name, mine, Earl Hawkins, receives nearly $10,000 a month and has done so since 1988. During these 2.5 years of conducting a protest, every month, my birth name receives almost $10,000. Me, not a dollar. No type of accreditation. Full medical benefits, military medical benefits, recognized by the hospital. Couldn't sign as Earl Hawkins because Shasta County Superior Court does not allow, will not comply with the process of establishing identity. Continues to prosecute only shadow identity Jean Paul Martineau, a name placed on me at 5 years old. Earl Hawkins has a social security number issued in 1970. The date of my birth, along with the place of my birth. I'm first to be a shadow identity. Accredited nothing. Forced to live at indigent level. In large part due to lack of public support. No one, and I can't do it on my own, take on the entire U.S. government. Not one lawyer, not one concerned citizen has offered assistance. It's not that difficult to operate the radio, open the stemoceiver. How about a little marijuana, make it another day. Been cut off all medication, 4 aneurysms. Blood pressure problem, along with an agitator wire placed in the heart. a wedge out of the aortic valve from a gunshot wound. Oh, none of that matters. The lead slug in the backbone, all continues about the same. Seems as if year by year it gains a little pain in that area. Gains, well, that sounds as if it's positive. Further festers the issue. Not receiving any medical assistance. None. Zero. And for that reason, I term the situation and their actions, that of the police, cruel. There are some people that are full of evil. They don't have much of a conscience. 2.5 years, multitude of gunshot wounds. Mercy Medical Center 2 weeks ago didn't think to call the police, report the gunshot wounds. It's illegal. Against protocol not to call the police. I mean, everyone who's shot just goes on into the hospital and complains about the gunshots, and no police are called. Electricity cut, phones cut. Oh, when the blood pressure kept rising. What was the EKG showing? I bet if there's any investigation, there's a lapse due to the electricity being cut and the phones cut. It's right there, documented, May 29th. Look at the record. May 29th, 2019. Daytime. Oh, how odd, huh? Not where I go in. It's quite often. It isn't so common in Northern California have both the power and the phones go out all of a sudden. Yeah, it happens at the borders. It happens in many areas. Anywhere I interact with the machine, the computer that does a background, what's found? Lights go out, phones get cut, Yankee Sam hijacks the system. Everything seems as usual. Off to the next day. The next step of the same. Either way, continuing on. A little tired of being held a shadow identity, kept from my inheritance. I live without nearly any money. Inherited a fortune that the USDIA, a multitude of, and it's a small group, I mean, it isn't so many, through issuing shadow identities, hold the entire fortune. Me, not a dollar. Not allowed my birth name. It's a little game they play. As long as I can't have my birth name, I can't get the inheritance. They get to keep the assets. There would be quite an upset if I were allowed my birth name. So they keep me a slave. Absolutely no pay because I'd hire a lawyer. First thing. Can't afford a lawyer. They get to abuse me in court. What they're doing is illegal. The Reading Police Department is not subjected to any type of oversight. This has allowed for abuses. There's no one in the U.S. federal government that steps up. Definitely not at local level. They're all part of the same operation. The USDIA Command Center, located in the Shasta Dam facility, been in operation since the 1940s. They're allowed to behave however they deem necessary. Allowed to do so under U.S. national security. A broken back, a broken pelvis, a broken coccyx, while in detainment. Extrajudicially extradited from the country of Peru. Returned without any type of medical assistance. Have the scans. Anyone interested? How about a civil suit lawyer out there? No one even no, they don't touch this. The case, it has to do with the government. They stay away. Not one offer of assistance. How is it that I appeared on Grizzly Adams? My eyes can be matched with the computer. Grizzly Adams in 1974 was known, reported on the news as being a child violator. Violated the children who appeared on the show, were on the set. I'm stating I'm one of the children on the set. There were 4. Can be verified. They put stents in the eyes. though they still can be identified. The bone structure. No type of lawyer, civil suit lawyer, offers assistance. Any type of lawyer. How is it I have a multitude of gunshot wounds and a stem receiver implanted at the cerebral cortex and not allowed any health benefits, but my birth name holds full military benefits I'm not allowed to use? That's not abuse? For the public, it's nothing. No offer of assistance. Well, I'd appreciate some. Maybe there's a new listener out there. I protest Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 5:30, 4:45 to 5:45 out in front of the Redding Police Department, Redding, California. I need assistance. And soon, not later. Yeah, another court appearance on July 11th. Oh, how'd it go with the competency test? Just fine. Let them know that I spent the first part of my life in the country of Vietnam. Yeah, just the usual. Yeah, he'll let me know the results on the day of the court appointment. That way I enter and can't leave if they decide I'm not competent. I shouldn't be in that court. How is it I'm being taken into court for stating I'm Earl Hawkins? Earl Hawkins exists. No one's saying I'm not Earl Hawkins. They just won't recognize I am. And in the meanwhile, year after year after year, denied health benefits. Life-threatening conditions, one after another. Quite serious situation, being ignored by the authorities. They find all this amusing. Well, I'd sure appreciate some assistance. Before July 11th. Well before. I'll take it all the way to the door. When I'm walking up to the gallows pole once more. That's an incredible amount of stress. Taken back into the same offices where I've been sexually violated, tortured by the Redding Police Department. Needles inserted into my penis, through my testicles, into my eyeballs, under my fingernails. Allowed by U.S. law, U.S. national security, allocates such behavior. Allocates for? I mean, everything's authorized. No one does anything otherwise. No official steps up, offers assistance, makes an investigation. On their cameras, January 30th, Possessions Claim Office, Redding Police Department, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, shoved back into the office, gun drawn, placed in my face, badge included, bicycle pushed back into the office on the cameras, sexually violated, tortured, placed into a trance state, left with no conscious memory. Again and again they're allowed to do this. They've done it repeatedly during the protest. Again, I'd appreciate some assistance. I want only God, He helps me do this rhyme, line by line. I do give my thanks along with gratitude for our Father in heaven, Allah, our one only God. It's a big Boss Jock, signing off.